Hi guys, this is the Hamilton Beach Panini Press and Sandwich Maker. It comes in chrome and this pretty metallic red. The unit is 1400 watts and measures 4.5 inches tall, 12.6 inches wide, and 12.3 inches deep. The cord length is 25 inches. The floating lid presses down on whatever you're grilling. You can grill sandwiches of any thickness in this press. If you're making an open-faced sandwich or pizza, the cover can be locked at different heights by turning this knob. The cooking surface is non-stick, so don't use any metal utensils which can scratch the surface. The surface measures 10 inches by 8 inches. You should be able to fit 2 or 3 sandwiches depending on the size of your bread. On top of the lid is the red power on light and green preheat light. Put this latch on the handle and store the unit upright to save space. You can wrap the cord around the bottom. When you first get the unit, use a damp sponge with a little dish detergent to clean the surface. Then clean it with a dry cloth. After you finish using the unit, unplug and let it cool. To clean, wipe the surface with a paper towel. If there's a lot of stuff stuck on, it'll be easier to wipe down when the surface is a little warm. Use a damp sponge with a little dish detergent to clean, and again with a clean cloth. Since the surface is non-stick, don't use any abrasive sponge or cleaner. The outside can be wiped down with a damp cloth. I'll make you a few things to show you how this unit works. When you plug in the unit, the red light illuminates. Close the cover and heat for 6 minutes. The green light illuminates when the grill is ready to use. The cover is hot, so use an oven mitt. All you do is put your food on the bottom and close the cover. Wait 2 or 3 minutes and check your food. First, I'll make 2 grilled cheese sandwiches. I'm just using a standard loaf of sandwich bread. I've buttered one side of each slice of bread for the top and bottom. I'm going to use 3 slices of cheddar cheese for each sandwich. And try to keep them in the middle because I don't want it to melt and ooze out. Plug the unit in. Close the cover and the green light's going to illuminate when the grill's ready to use. The red light's on. The green light comes on after about 1.5 minutes, but you're supposed to wait about 6 minutes for the unit to fully heat up. It's been about 6 minutes. I'll put the sandwiches on. Put the cover down. The cover will just rest on top of the sandwich. It's been about 2 minutes. I'm just going to check it. Looks done. Make sure to use a non-stick spatula to take anything off the grill. A little bit of the cheese is oozed out, but most of it stayed in the sandwich. We can unplug the machine. There's no off button. You can see it's really hot. It's smoking hot. The sandwiches look pretty even on both sides. This side is a little bit darker. You can see the grill marks. Nice and melty. Looks great inside. So I would definitely suggest checking your food after 2 minutes because the grill is very hot. And there's no temperature control, it's just hot. So in 2 minutes, you have a really melty grilled cheese sandwich. The cheese was melted right after 1 minute, so if you don't want the bread that toasted or that dark, you can take it out at a little after 1 minute. If you guys want to get this Panini Press and Sandwich Maker, I'll put a link right below in the description. The grill is warm, it's not cooled down yet, but I just want to wipe down the cheese now. Get in the grooves and really wipe it. Get in the grooves and get all the grease out. If you didn't use the butter, there would be no grease. You don't have to butter your bread, it just tastes better and looks a lot better too. Looks less dry on top. I'm going to try and toast some English muffins. I've already heated the unit for 6 minutes. You can fit 2 on here. It's been 3 minutes. Looks toasted on top. It's hot. It's actually perfectly toasted. And they're all pretty even. So you can definitely toast English muffins in this unit. And this did take 3 minutes. If you want to make a breakfast sandwich, toast the English muffins first, then put your cooked egg and cooked bacon or sausage on top, cheese, cover it, and cook it for about a minute. I think that should be enough to melt the cheese and heat up your egg and sausage. Just make sure whatever you put in the sandwich is cooked, because this grill is not going to cook it for you. With something like English muffins, you're going to have a lot of crumbs left on the grill. The grill plates are not removable, so you just have to wipe it down. It is a little annoying to wipe down all the crumbs because they get in between each groove there, but maybe an easier way would be to unplug the machine and make sure it's completely cool and then just vacuum up the crumbs. Or just use a damp cloth, just move it down to the side here and then just wipe it off. Next, I'll make a sandwich using these rolls. They're almost 2 inches thick. Got some chicken breast, a couple of slices of tomato, thinly sliced, some onion, a couple of rings of pickled jalapenos. You want to try to keep it even. Mozzarella cheese. You can slather on some mayo, mustard, or your favorite dressing on the bread. I wouldn't put too much of any dressing because you don't want it to ooze out, then you'll have to clean up the mess. Put them in the middle. You can press it down as much as you can and tighten the knob. It's been 2 minutes. It is nicely toasted. The cheese isn't quite melted yet, so I'll give it another minute. I'll take a bite to see if it's warm all the way through. It's actually warm all the way through. It's not piping hot, but it's warm. It makes a good sandwich. This is an extra large flour tortilla. It's 10 inches. If I fold this in half like this, you can make quesadillas and fajitas, and this will fit. One will fit in this unit. To make burritos, just fold the sides over, fold this over, and just roll it. And you should be able to fit 2 of these in the unit. I'm going to put some peppers on here. Red and green bell peppers. Sliced red onion. And some shredded cheese. It's best to keep the cheese more in the middle and not at the sides because you don't want it oozing out and making a mess for you to clean up. Just fits. It's going to tighten the knob. It's been 2 minutes. Cheese is melted and there's nice grill marks on top. So 2 minutes is perfect. So 2 minutes is great for quesadillas or wraps. If you're making a burrito, you might need to go a little bit more than 2 minutes because it's thicker. Now I'll make a pizza. Whether you're using your own pizza dough or refrigerated pizza dough that you buy from the store, make sure it's room temperature. Otherwise, you're going to be fighting it when you roll it out and you're not going to win that fight. I've shaped it into a rectangle while the grill is heating up. We'll put the crust on the grill first, close it and cook it for 2 minutes, then top the crust with sauce, cheese, and whatever toppings you want. Bring the cover down a little, lock the hinge, so the cover is above the pizza, not touching it, just so the cheese melts, which should take about 2 minutes. The grill's hot, it's been 6 minutes. I'll put the crust on. I don't know what shape it's going to be when it lands on the grill, but let's hope it's still a rectangle. Just be careful, you can sort of move it a little bit, but it's hot. Close it and cook it for 2 minutes. The crust is puffing up a little. It's 2 minutes now. I'll put the sauce on. Homemade or bottled, whatever your favorite sauce is. If you want to make your own sauce, I will put the recipe below in the description section. Fresh mozzarella. And some basil. I'll bring the cover right above the pizza and tighten it. Don't lower it too much because it has a tendency to fall a little bit, even if you tighten it. When you're cooking the crust, you can brush it with olive oil if you want. It's been 3 minutes, the cheese looks like it's melted and the sauce is oozing onto the grill, so I'm going to unplug the machine. You see the bottom crust is brown. Some of the sauce has oozed out. The basil's darkened from the heat and the cheese is melted. Crust is crispy. I'll just cut this into pieces to make sure it's cooked evenly. Really not bad for an inexpensive panini press. The crust is crispy and is cooked. I wouldn't suggest making your pizza crust any thicker because then I think the outside would get cooked and the inside would be a little raw. This is cooked pretty nicely. This is the color on the bottom. It is dark, but it's not burnt. So 2 minutes just for the crust, and after the toppings, 2 to 3 minutes. The cheese I used was thick, fresh mozzarella. It was thick, so that's why it took the full 3 minutes. If you're using shredded mozzarella, I think 2 minutes would be fine. So you saw what this little panini press can do. You can make toast, sandwiches, open-faced sandwiches, pizza, quesadillas, fajitas, most items that you can make with bread. It runs very hot, so there is no temperature control. You just have to watch when things are done. Pretty much everything will be done in 2 to 3 minutes. The grill is still a little warm. I'm going to just wipe off the sauce. Just going to put some water on it with the paper towel. Just leave that for a minute. Let it soften the crusty sauce. And then when you go back and wipe it off, it'll be much easier. Comes right off. You can use paper towels or a sponge, just something soft. Cleanup takes about 2 minutes if you're careful about what you're cooking. So my tips are, leave the cheese in the middle of whatever you're cooking and the sauce. Don't slather on the dressing because whatever oozes out is going to get stuck to the grill and it's going to take you longer to clean. If you guys want to get this panini press and sandwich maker, I'll put a link right below in the description. As always, I hope you found this review helpful and useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more reviews. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.